Items significantly not as described. Productions presents. Yet another milestone reached on this channel. Greetings, viewers. This is CP666 signing on for my appreciation video to all 1,500 and counting of you. Or I guess 1,501 and counting of you. For either joining on just now, or for sticking with it for the last roughly 10 years worth of videos. So how am I going to show my appreciation? Well, by the video title you'll already know, but for those of you that don't, I think it's finally time we take a look at what's in this gray bag over here. So here it is, all taken out of its cubby hole, and I'll tell you what, it's a lot heavier than it actually happens to look. But this is not the only thing that came with this. No, I also, as part of the same lot, picked up this, which is a massive collection of floppy diskettes. We'll have to take a look at that in another video, or I might actually look at it in a live stream at some point. But I don't know what's in there. I haven't gone through it. What really interests me at this particular juncture in time is what is in this bag. What is in the bag? You know, to keep the suspense up a little bit further for those that cannot read video titles, then we'll open up this pocket here, which I think is a little messed up. We have a power cord. I don't know if this is the cord that came with it, if it even came with a cord, I can't remember. But there's a cord nonetheless. There is, this pouch, which looks a little worse for wear. We have a piece of paper that's got, looks like commands, a DOS cheat sheet, looks like so. Probably for some of the programs that may or may not still be on the hard drive. Neat. And, what's this? CompuAdd. MS-DOS User's Guide and Reference. For someone that is not this, it's too bad, I didn't even see it. Oh well, guess I missed out on that. But cool nonetheless. And that is all the contents there. So what's left to do is to open up a big compartment. Well, probably be easier to do that if I were to... Sometimes I can do these with one hand, but this one wants to play hard to get. But I still got it. To reveal the magic within. So let me get this thing out and we'll have a closer look at it. This thing is bigger than my desk. Yes, really. It is that big. It is a Fora laptop computer. At least I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I don't know anything about the company or what they produced, or anything like that. What I can tell you is that this is an absolutely positively massive 286 laptop. Powered battery charge, because this does actually have a battery. It's underneath this cover here. Should probably remove it because it's pretty much completely dead, but I have not done so yet. Go ahead and we can flip it around, hopefully carefully, without damaging too many things. If we look at the back, you can see that there really isn't a whole lot on the back, other than a carrying handle, or what was a carrying handle. Unfortunately, it is broken. I'll have to figure out a way to fix that. I'm not sure. I've thought about using hot glue, but the possibility exists that I might get myself some methyl ethyl ketone, or MEK, and apply a little bit to it and just put them back into place, because I know that Westlife did that with a Zenith Easy PC that was broken in shipping, and that certainly helped to put things back together. It's not perfectly even, as you can see here. Probably just differences in age of plastic. Not a whole lot that I can do. There's a power switch right there. Again, the battery is pretty much stone dead. I haven't had this thing out in a while. Probably should be using it more often than I do. Over here, you can see we got 2 expansion slots. Presumably they're ISA. They might both even be 16-bit. Although, usually what you ended up getting was one 8-bit and one 16-bit. I might pull this this little cover on the back off, and we can go ahead and have a look definitively. Serial. Looks like keyboard, which actually that looks like it might be PS2. Which is amazing for something, well, I don't know, I think this was late, very late 1980s, so PS2 might have been around by then, but I was expecting an 18. And COM2, which is very much proprietary. Here's the floppy drive. I'm not sure if that's a 720K or 4 meg. I guess we'll find out at some point later on. If we go ahead and flip it around onto its side, again very carefully, you can see that it is a model LP-286L, 17-volt DC input. There is the serial number. I'm not sure what the decoding for that would be. Made in Taiwan. There's a speaker, or what I would presume is a PC speaker, up at the front. And if we go ahead to the other side, again, if we can, this thing is very, very unwieldy. But this is back in the day, before we had actual laptops. We had portables like this, and luggables like the compact portable, which I promise I will eventually get back to. It's just kind of fallen by the back burner. There's a cooling fan right here. There's your DC input. And there is, presumably, this could be sold as a dual floppy model, but this one's got a hard drive in it. I think that's the original drive. It's very definitely a Connor Peripherals drive, and even if I didn't know that, it's pretty much certain just by the way that it looks. If I had to guess, I don't remember exactly, I think it's a 40 megabyte drive, which would make it the smallest IDE hard drive I have in my collection, assuming it is IDE, which I suspect that it is. So we can go ahead and flip it around again, hopefully. Like I said, at some point I might pop off the back cover, probably at the end of the video, so we can go ahead and have a look-see in there, and we can check and find out exactly what slots this has. There's our display, which is definitely monochrome. It's that blue text on gray. I think it's CGA level graphics though. It's just obviously monochrome on this thing. Here are LEDs for turbo mode, hard drive access, floppy drive access, caps lock, screen mode. I don't know what that means, unless you can go for inverse video, and CRT for an external display. I didn't even see an external display connector. Again, I would presume that it's got one somewhere. That maybe it's just hidden, or I wasn't looking hard enough. But it does have the option, I guess. Very nice keyboard. That's almost full size. I think it is a little bit more condensed than what you would find on a typical PC at the time, and it certainly doesn't have the number pad. And I also do know that unfortunately my Z key doesn't work. The rest of them, I believe, did. I think it's a rubber dome keyboard. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. But it could be mechanical. Well, one thing's for sure, this was definitely back when, you know, manufacturers cared about their keyboards. So how am I going to power this thing? Remember that pouch? You guessed it. That is the power supply. Check this thing out. It's absolutely freaking massive. Brick on a leash. But again, this was pretty typical for the time period. Apparently, it can go all the way up to 260 volts. Interesting. Definitely a multi-range power supply. So I'm going to go find my IEC power connection. I mean, I've got one, but I have one plugged in already, so I'll go find that, and then we can go ahead and power up the machine and see it run. Okay, I've plugged it in. It reports that it is charging the battery. Of course, good luck with that. And it's using, I'd say, about 20 watts from the wall. There's normally about 150 watts on that UPS. So let's see what that figure jumps to when we power the machine on. Whole megabyte of memory. Press delete if you want to enter setup. I will go ahead and run setup. Yes, I would like to run setup. The current date is, well, that's not the current date. So the either it doesn't have a real-time clock or it's not running, but that is pretty impressive that it remembered that much. So it is actually 02/20 2020. This keyboard is very nice to type on. Alright. Well, the real-time clock is definitely running. It's 9:32, so what is that, 21:32? How close are we? Let's put in 30. Okay, monochrome display. Fixed disks type C is type 1. That's not quite true. But if I remember right, I did try changing some of that, and it really didn't like that. So just screen mode. I don't know what that really does. No math coprocessor. A 1.44 megabyte floppy drive. That's pretty nice. Use the contrast control. Try and adjust that to where I can actually see it. Enable LCD auto sleep. No, I don't really care. Are the options correct? I will go ahead and say yes. Stand by while system is rebooting. So we'll test the RAM again. Test the floppy first. And here we go, from the hard drive. We have what looks like a custom menu with a bunch of different programs. What I wanted to check was the power usage. About 50 watts. Not bad for a laptop of this age. So let's see, is there anything in here that I recognize? Lotus 123. That was a very popular spreadsheet program before Microsoft Excel took over that. Battle Chess. I recognize Flight Simulator. Golf, audio only. GTE Computer Training. What would that be? GTE is a name I recognize. General Telephone, I think. DOS Command Help. Home Lawyer. Norton Utilities, Professional Writer, a couple different resume programs, Instrument Technician Questions Answers. There's some interesting stuff on here. Let's go ahead and run the computer diagnostics. So let's see, let's test the real-time clock. Interprocessor communication error. Well, that sucks. So RAM test checks out good. Keyboard. We should be type 0. Interprocessor communication error. Wonder what's up with that. Video RAM is okay. Attribute check. Everything there looks good. Character set check. Black and white mode check. Looks alright so far. Color graphics adapter. Let's see what it happens to do. Set display mode to color graphics and console to CGA. Oh well, whatever. LCD. Checker pattern. Interesting. Stripe pattern. Wonder if it's having difficulty with that. Floppy disk drive. I don't think I'm going to worry about too much of that. Now, how do you quit this? Escape quits it. Alright. So we're back at the DOS prompt here. Oops. Keys are a little slow to respond, it looks like. There's a setup.exe in here for something. WordPerfect, Diagnostics, Tech, ProWrite, GTE, Virus. Okay, I gotta know what's in Virus. I think that might be a Norton thing. Nope, that's McAfee. Okay. Probably should have known that. Let's see, is there anything else in here? I want to see how I can get that menu to come back up. It definitely looks like a custom menu because you can see all of these. I'm sorry, you probably can't see them. But it's got all these batch files on it. So I suppose main.bat is what I want to run. Type menu to start direct access. Oops. Well, it sort of worked. Windows applications. Yeah, it's direct access, but it doesn't look like it's set up properly. Not the best keyboard in the world. It seems to have definitely seen better days. My contrast has gone a little wonky again. Let's see. AutoExec.bat should tell me what's in there. If it happens to work. Looks like M is what I actually want. Yeah, there we go. So let's see here. Virus utility, WordPerfect executive. What do I want to look at? Well, golf sounds kind of interesting. So we are what? Probably 1. Let's just do the demo. Full sound. No. This is probably going to be loud. If it actually works. Seems to be having some trouble.
No doubt about it, that's deep in the sand trap.
Now it's sort of working.
No doubt about it, that's deep in the sand trap.
But not quite. Can we break out of it?
No doubt about it, that's deep in the sand trap.
That's not bad for PC speaker audio.
No doubt about it, that's deep in the sand trap.
I think it's stuck in a loop. I can't break out of it.
No doubt about it, that's deep in the sand trap.
Okay, I think I'm going to have to reboot the computer here. Alright, back to business. Let's see what this GTE thing is all about. The IMS Tips and Tricks diskette. One moment, please. This might be interesting. I might have to grab this and put it on another computer and maybe do a screen capture so it looks a little better. Read me first. How to navigate this tutorial. Yeah, I think I'm going to put this probably on a virtual machine and make a separate video about it. That's really hard to read. I'm sorry. Yeah, this isn't the best display for this. The first step is always the hardest. It's the getting started that is the most difficult for many people. So I definitely think that I am going to put that onto another computer or on a virtual machine and make a separate video about it, because that might be cool enough to look at on its own. GTE. Telecommunications Support Department. Alright, let's see. What else in here? DOS command help. Help DOS. Copyright 1985 Help Technologies. I think I remember this. I'm gonna beep yourself. Yeah, it's a pretty basic thing there. F9 to quit. Let's see, home lawyer. That might be kind of interesting to look at. I don't want this video to run out too long. Deskmate runtime. I wonder, kind of curious. Home lawyer for Deskmate. Okay, I'm not going to take a look at any of this because there might be private information in there, and I don't know what it is. But that's cool. This looks like it's got at least some vestiges of Deskmate on it. Interesting. Alright, Quicken. 15, the instrument technician information. Might be interesting. NISET. This might be cool. Again, to look at another video. It's basically like a test preparation program. Or I guess it gives you sample tests and stuff like that. WordPerfect, which again, that was very popular back in the day. It's been replaced by Microsoft Word, except in the legal profession, they still use it. List file utility. So it tells me all of the files on the computer, it looks like. So there's nothing cool like Windows on here, is there? No. Ignore that, that's the SLI machine doing stuff. Usage.exe. What's this all about? Usage tracking. Print reports. Number of records, 0. Well, that's unfortunate. Menu maintenance. Yeah, this is part of direct access as well. PC setup. PC Plus. Procom Plus. Ooh. Press any key to enter terminal mode. Cool. VT102 emulator. Let's see if I remember how to get out of this. I've never actually used this program. Well, Alt-Z will give you help. Unless it has just locked up. Oh, the Z key doesn't work! I forgot about that. Oh, crap. Okay, well, what am I going to do now? Control-Alt-Delete, maybe? Well, I don't think there's really anything else that I can think of about the system unit itself and its software stack. So we'll go ahead and we'll power it off. Doesn't really, I don't think it really needs that. I think the hard drive is auto-parking, which was a big deal back in the day. So we'll just go ahead and power it off. And then we will go ahead and take the back off and see what it has to show us. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that this is a single scan passive matrix display. And, I mean, obviously, as you can tell, it's very definitely a passive matrix display, just by the way that it behaves with the contrast and the brightness controls. But the reason why I'm calling it single scan is because if this were a dual scan display, if you look carefully at it, somewhere around the middle of the display you should see a line going across. Now try not to pay too much attention to all of these. I don't know if you can really see them, but there are definitely lines from these characters that are on the display. That has nothing to do with the display itself. So that's just, well, it does, but that's just kind of the way the display works. That's one of the big problems of passive matrix displays, is the ghosting of the characters and the low refresh rate. But there is no line running across the middle of the screen. You can very much more clearly see it right here. There is no line running across the middle. So this is a single scan display with one processor driving the whole thing. Oh, the other thing that I almost forgot to mention is this right here, which is a function key template. Because of course this was back in the day where most programs, WordPerfect, Microsoft Word, WordStar, Lotus 123, pretty much anything productivity-wise used its own function keys for its own, used function keys to perform various tasks. So what you would do is on this you would write down what each function key happened to do. This one's obviously never been used, and it just kind of pops out like that. A lot of programs actually would give you your own, or they would give you pre-made templates that you would stick on the top of your keyboard. I have one of them somewhere for Word for Windows. I forget which version of Word it is, but it's a fairly archaic version of Word for Windows. But that's what that is used for. Oh yeah, and I have confirmed that this is in fact a roughly 40 megabyte hard drive. It's also got double space installed on it. Alright, there's the information if you wanted to know how much space is used on the drive and all of that. Yeah, I am blind. Look at that. So there's our display output and a parallel printer port. And in order to get this back piece off, there are two screws that are underneath. I don't know if you'll be able to see them. Probably not, even if I turn night shot on. Oh yeah, there we go. So there's one there. Looks like there might be one there, although I think that one is missing. Well, it might be intact. Some of them are not totally intact, but they are there. And my camera is reporting that it is running out of battery. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and take those out, and then we can take them. Alright, thanks to the stupid, ridiculous camera deciding that it's not going to work with my battery anymore, I have this off. And again, you got to be really careful with these. As you can see, somebody has already broken the plastic on that one, because I don't have to remove it. There should be, you know, something there, and there is not on this one. So, oh well. Either way, we have a rough estimate as to when this was made now. 1989. Looks like October 14th, maybe? That'd be my guess. October 14th. So, there we go. I don't know if this is totally original or if maybe there's been some modification going on in here. just because there's a fuse right there. That could certainly be original, but I think it'd probably be routed somewhere else if it were. I don't really know how you'd get this NiCad pack out of here. That's what this is. This is the system battery. That might be a little difficult, and likewise, I think I'm probably going to have to remove this little barrel cell right here. Although it seems to still be working, but I'm a little hesitant to leave it there. Just because I don't know how long it's going to last. Either way, we can verify now that we have a 16-bit and an 8-bit ISA slot. And not much else. There's a couple little pico fuses there on the board. There's a jumper of unknown description. Connection from the power supply. There's the floppy drive ribbon cable. But if I really wanted to go any further into this, I'd have to tear it apart a little bit further than this. And I don't really know how to do that, nor am I really envious of the idea of doing that. So that's pretty much as far as I'm going to take it. So, thank you for watching. If you have any comments, feel free to leave them down below. And this is CP666 signing off, and I hope to see you next time. Till then.